Here with Dakoda Chaffins, team set 5, top 8 today. With what was your deck, Gino?
Gravekeepers. Nobody escapes the Necro Valley.
Awesome. Let's take a look at that main deck.
Alright, obviously, 3 commandments. You get Necro Valley on field, 2100 point beater. Essentially, you're running 3 Necro Valleys. 3 copies of Gravekeepers. The deck's special summon engine. Good. Flip it. You've got Necro Valley on field. It's 2500 defense wall. 3 copies of Recruiter. Probably one of the more pricey cards in the deck, but it does its job well. Lets you add these straight to hand, so you can go straight into Necro Valley. 3 Descendants. Use Fate the Descendant, Tribute Recruiter, pop a card. You plus off Recruiter, you destroy one of their monsters. 2 copies of Visionary. This card is a monster. Just getting him on field with Necro Valley is automatic 2500 attack. Effect gives him an extra 200 boost for every Gravekeeper in the graveyard. And if I use his effect to negate destruction by ditching a card, he gains 200 more because the effect is constant. It's not just an unsummon. 1 copy of Heretic because I hate traps. Shaman because it lets me, basically as long as I got Necro Valley, it lets me main a 2nd copy of Soul Drain.
So was there a lot of trap heavy decks today?
Not as many as I thought there'd be. I was expecting to see Burning Abyss, and that was a good chunk of the reason I put this in my deck. But one of the good plays you can do with this is you set a spy. Make sure you have a Descendant or a Recruiter in hand, preferably a Descendant. Next turn, assuming they don't attack it, you bottomless or something to make sure your field stays alive. You flip your spy. You special summon Recruiter, normal Descendant, send Descendant to grave, pop a card, then search, command it with Recruiter's effect, discard command it, get Necro Valley, then these 2 are up to 2017 respectively. Then you can either overlay, or if they got something else out, you can use his effect again to pop spy and then swing. It's pretty good because his effect can target anything on the field, and Recruiter gets his effect off anyway. Deck combos really well with Fraction Zero. As soon as I get one of those, it'd make it a lot better because I can get Recruiter's effect off and I get a draw. Pretty standard monster lineup for Gravekeepers. I use 3 copies of Duality, standard search card, 3 copies of MST because this deck does not like Cleaforts at all. 3 copies of Necro Valley. Now this card right here, by itself, gives me a decent matchup with Shadows. 2 copies of Stele, lets me pull from grave even though Necro Valley's on field. 2 copies of Hidden Temple, as long as I control Necro Valley and a Gravekeeper. Hidden Temples is essentially a Vanities that still lets me special summon my own monster. Now when I first got this deck, I couldn't figure out why this was a 1. But when I was able to get my 2nd turn, get Shaman on field with Necro Valley, and then drop Royal Tribute on a Shadal deck, I realized why this card is a 1. Because it wipes their entire hand, they go negative so hard. But that's pretty much, it's a pretty standard spell lineup for Gravekeepers. You can kind of tweak it if you want to. You can have 3 Hidden Temples, or you can drop a Pot of Duality for, I don't know, a Regeki or a Dark Hole. It's up to you, but I'm not a fan of Mass Destruction right now. Traps, 2 Fiendish Chain. This deck does not like Kais very much, and people are very fond of siding in Kais. 2 copies of Dimensional Prison because a lot of times if you can banish something, it's gone for good. Now 2 copies of Imperial Tombs. This card is an amazing card. As long as I control Necro Valley and a Gravekeeper, this is essentially Solemn Judgment for my archetype. If you want to do it, I'm not going to let you. 1 copy of Soul Drain because I don't like Shadals either. We're Burning Abyss. These very sexy Platinum Rare Compulse and Solemn. And Bottomless. Standard traps right here. Standard across the board except for maybe the Soul Drain and the Tombs. It's this deck doesn't run really trap heavy. It's more along the lines of effect negation than anything, not letting you use your graveyard to your advantage. For my extra deck, Satilla Knight Delteros. I got some use out of it. It's good if I want to go ahead and get a quick swing in for game. Heartland Draco's good because I main Hidden Temples and Necro Valley, and if I have either one of those out on field, he can't be targeted for attacks, so it's an OTK preventative, and I can discard a material and attack directly. 1 copy of Key Beetle. Key Beetle, I can use Key Beetle on Hidden Temple. That way, if my Necro Valley is destroyed, my Hidden Temple stays. It doesn't blow itself up. 101 self-explanatory. Diamond Dyers, 1-for-1. My Stroke because I'm not a Dante is a pain in the ass. Steel Swarm Roach, and the reason I got Roach is because the recent ruling of the TCG is that if Cleaforts go to Pendulum Summon, as long as one of those monsters is level 5+, Still Swarm Roach effect destroys all of them. Negates the entire summon. Cowboy for burn damage, Exciton because I don't like you to have field advantage. Downard because piercing. Alucard for getting rid of some back row. Castell because it's a staple now. And Zen Mains because occasionally you just need a 1-for-1.
Awesome. What did you end up choosing to side with today?
My side deck, I actually sided a lot for Cleaforts. Like, I would say 70% of my side deck's Cleaforts. We got 2 copies of Puppet Plant for Burning Abyss, Shadows. I got some use with it against the random UA decks. 2 copies of Dust Tornado. Actually not a bad card to set. You set it during your turn. If you don't have an MST, they go to pay cost to search. You flip that. They had to pay cost, but they don't get their search because it's the same as Tinky. Dimensional Prison because just banish everything. Needle Sealing because this is a very good OTK preventative. Macro because if you get the current ruling right now is if you like get rid of any of the Cleafort monsters with Macro on field, they're banished. They don't go to the extra deck. 2 copies of System Down. System Down, banish everything on the field. I think it's pay 1,000 life points. Not too bad. Fairy Wind because if you can break the scale, you'll have a much easier game. Mind Drain because the current decks are really fond of searching. And 1 copy of Spell Shattering Arrow. I lean more toward Arrow than Fairy Wind because I run a field spell. And this doesn't hurt me, this just does burn damage to them. But if I have to, I will use Fairy Wind because if I'm going to get hit, you're going to hit too. And
so what was your big challenges today?
I think probably the hardest match I had, even though most of my side deck was devoted to it, was Cleaforts because unless I open up very strong, I'm going to have a very hard game. I also struggled a little bit against, oddly enough, Raccoon Synchro because that deck has answers for anything you can throw out.
It's kind of the beast deck here.
Yeah, like anything you throw out, they can pump Poco, or they can just Kalantos it, or Hain it, or go into this big ass 7,000 attack junk warrior, or just Goyo and take my monster, or whatever. And since I don't main skill drain, I have a very hard time against that deck. And since they don't rely to it, but one advantage I have to it is Necro Valley pretty much completely negates Valerie Fawn and Soul Charge. So, I mean, I top 8'd, I'm satisfied. This is my first like serious test of this deck, and hopefully it'll do okay at regionals next month.
I think you'll be good.
Yeah, but that's pretty well it. I mean, this deck's pretty self-explanatory. It has its combos. You know, the flip spy into descend it, and then normal recruiter, descend it, recruiter, search, Necro Valley, all that good stuff. My advice for anybody playing this is keep constant field presence, or you're going to get run over. Make sure you always can use Imperial Tombs. But yeah, that's pretty well it.